Welcome back, all you Regs and all you Shinies. Welcome to another episode of the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by my host, Jacob, and welcome to another episode of the podcast.
Are we actually using that?
Yeah, may as well.
Oh, might as well.
All right.
Welcome
Hello,
back.
everybody. It is very, very late.
It is currently 11:24, the night before this video goes up.
It is currently less than 12 hours before you will see this podcast episode.
We are the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, so we were actually going to record this much earlier today, and it was just kind of like a mix of...
the stars did not align.
No, I slept in, and then I didn't know that Jacob...
Tommy has crippling depression, so he didn't get up this morning.
And on top of that, Jacob had a hair appointment that I did not know about, so it was just kind of like a mutual, like, not knowing each other's schedules, even though we literally talk every day. And so we just had like an argument like an old married couple about it, and then decided we were just going to do a late night podcast. So it is currently almost midnight.
So welcome to 1313 After Dark.
So I want a yawn counter. If everyone could give between the two of us a count of, and I'm already going to have one, I'm trying to hold it in,
Me too.
of how many yawns there are going to be this episode. I will mail you stickers or a pin or something along those lines. And
you got to do it though.
Some of my hair follicles. And so aside from that, it's just we're gonna talk about some Star Wars as usual. But yes,
this is gonna be the most chill version of the podcast, or we're gonna hit that part where everybody's tired and everything becomes funny, and then we're gonna have like a sugar rush for like 5 minutes,
and then we're gonna crash.
And then we're gonna crash really hard. So you'll be able to see. But before we start this episode, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and join that Discord. Link is in the description below. But with that, we're going to talk about Empire Strikes Back.
Bum, bum, ba, the most overhyped Star Wars movie.
One of the greatest Star Wars
It's
movies.
the Star Wars movie that everybody thinks of when you say Star Wars to just some nematode on the road. They're gonna tell you, Luke, I am your father. Or they're going to tell you something like, oh yeah, Darth Vader. They're thinking of Empire Strikes Back because that's the first movie that Darth Vader shows up in.
No,
no, I know. I'm just yeah, but most people think of the Empire Strikes Back when they think Star Wars.
Well, granted, it is, in my opinion, the most iconic out of all of the films.
Oh, 100% it is the most iconic. And just a disclaimer real quick. I also want to apologize for the shininess of my skin. I actually just got out of work. I closed a restaurant. I was working in the kitchen, so I am...
So Tommy's glistening like a soft
But
baby toe.
I'm still swole. I'm still so big and strong. I'm still so big and strong. Anyways.
1313 workout vlog.
1313 Swolecast.
Swolecast.
Yeah, guys. So I actually did watch the movie.
Oh, you did?
Because when we found out we weren't podcasting, I shaved and I trimmed up my beard. And I watched The Empire Strikes Back while I ate chicken and rice.
Oh, your cold chicken and rice, or
it was hot chicken and rice.
You actually warmed it up.
And then after that, I watched Mike Tyson fight recaps from the 90s.
Nice. You want to know what I had today for like an absolutely nutritious breakfast? Well, just for the day.
Grasshopper eyes.
Dude, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, I had 2 protein waffles. I had protein muffin. I had eggs, I had a protein shake, and then for lunch I had a Hot Pocket and 2 pizza logs, and for dinner I had pizza. And I wish I was joking. So I started the day off right, and it just plummeted.
How is this relevant? How is any of this relevant? I told you I watched the movie.
Yeah.
That's how we got here.
And you were talking about your nasty ass chicken and rice that has no seasoning on it because you're white.
The boiled chicken. The boiled chicken.
You boil it? You don't even grill it?
No, I grill it.
Okay. You have a grill?
I have an oven.
That's not grilled.
Stovetop.
There's a big difference.
Skillet. You grill it, skillet. It rhymes.
No.
Anyways.
That's just not what that is.
So The Empire Strikes Back, everyone knows this movie. Everyone knows how they feel about this movie. There's no need for either of us to try to hype it up.
I like it a lot.
It's a good movie. It's a really good Star Wars movie. And I mean,
It's my second favorite.
I have some questions. Now, first and foremost, what made the rebels decide to go to Hoth? That's what I wonder. You guys chose the most miserable, absolutely awful, horrendous planet to live on.
Yeah. It sounds like you just answered your own question. Who would make a base on the most miserable planet to live on?
The rebels. That's the obvious answer.
Yeah, in hindsight. At the time, it seemed like it was uninhabitable. Like nobody could ever live there. There's remnants of a separatist base or whatever the heck it was. Like Echo Base was something before, and it just happened to be there, and they kind of knew about it. So they're like, "Oh, let's just go there."
True that.
And nobody else knew about it. It was actually a perfect place for them to go and hide, and it would have been fine unless Darth Vader was trying to look for his little golden boy Luke Skywalker.
I also think that it's super cool that Darth Vader used probe droids like he tried to do for Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's neat. It goes to show how much Vader all of a sudden is interested in the Rebel Alliance. And it's not because they blew up the Death Star. It's because Luke Skywalker is with them. And Darth Vader is trying to say, Luke, you are the son. Darth Vader's trying to take Luke on the Maury show.
You are not the father. No. Gosh, I love Robot Chicken. Anyway.
Seriously though, the Hoth battle is super, super cool.
The Hoth battle is actually, it's another one of those technological advancements that's mind blowing because this is the first time that we saw a space battle not take place in space. It took place on a tangible planet where you could see snow and mountains in background.
The rebels get absolutely decimated.
Mm-hmm. Lots of them die, actually.
Yeah, lots of them die.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever played the Lego games, you'll see the poor mustache rebel gets disintegrated. Everything except his mustache and his blaster get destroyed.
He had a really good mustache.
He had a really good, not as good as mine though. Mine's really nice.
No, it's his.
Especially after I shaved it today.
No, his is better.
It's really nice. Anyways, so yeah, but yeah.
You like my mustache?
Do you like Jacob's mustache? Jacob's been growing a mustache ever since he watched Top Gun Maverick.
I also want to buy aviator sunglasses and join the Church of Scientology.
The Church of Scientology.
Because, Tom Cruise.
Name something stupider than the Church of Scientology. Yeah, I worship books.
I would say that FNAF Security Breach is stupider.
Ooh, that's an awful take.
No,
yeah, that's terrible.
No, it's a really good take because the game had so much potential and it was really wasted.
How big of a fan are you of FNAF?
Very big.
Not as big as me.
That's incorrect. How many of the games have you played?
I've played all of them except for Security Breach.
Have you played them in VR? Exactly.
I watched them in VR. Oh, what is on my arm?
Burn mark?
Yeah. Guys, I got messed up at work today.
What happened?
I just kept getting splashed.
Dude, so this is not on topic at all. So we work in the same kitchen.
This really is not a Star Wars podcast.
This isn't a Star Wars podcast today, guys. We will get back to Empire Strikes Back in a minute, but I'm gonna be like Rexing around for this podcast, and I am just not gonna talk about the topic. So like the bin where our fries go, a coworker named Logan, if you're watching this, screw you, filled it up halfway with water. And the water was boiling, and when I went to scoop fries, all the water came out and splashed me on my open, bare legs because I was wearing shorts. And I just started screaming and running back and forth because it hurt really bad. So,
yesterday at work, Logan was it was me and the owner were just talking, and all of a sudden, Logan from the other side of the kitchen just goes, "I'm an eagle." Ah! And then the owner turned around and looked at me and said, "Logan, that's the first funny thing you've done in your 6 years of working here." Oh my God. This is what happens when it's 11:30 at night.
No, this is what happens when it's just you and me and we don't have an itinerary.
No, because itineraries are stupid.
I like them.
Whatever. I do what I want. In the words of my father.
In that case, get out of my house. Anyway, so Empire Strikes Back is cool. I started rewatching it today while I was at my second job, as the entire building smelled like rotting feces because my manager refuses to do anything about that problem. But we're going to talk about that.
Based manager not cleaning poop in bathroom?
I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna pay. Do not get paid enough for that.
Anyways,
It's,
there's one time I had to clean a coworker's feces all over the bathroom floor at my other job one time. I feel like that's a conversation for a live stream, not for a podcast episode.
How about we just scrap the Star Wars part of this podcast?
No.
Do a podcast.
No, let's talk. Let's talk some Empire Strikes Back. Let's talk. So the Empire Strikes Back.
So my favorite part of the movie is when Darth Vader soils himself and has to call his manager over, and then he fires himself very minutes after that fact. Oops, I spoiled Tommy's story. Anyway,
so yeah, I really like that this movie introduces bounty hunters to Star Wars universe. I think that the idea of bounty hunters in Star Wars seems so much cooler than bounty hunters in real life. Bounty hunters in real life are so lame.
Not really.
Unless you're Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I was gonna say, have you seen Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, but he doesn't.
He tracked that influencer to the Florida swamps after he murdered his girlfriend, and he was on the
Yeah, what did he find? His corpse in the swamp.
Yeah,
that's what he found.
I mean,
wow, so cool.
He won.
Lame.
He got the bounty.
So lame. So stupid.
Did you know Dog the Bounty Hunter used to do meth?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a story for another day.
But yeah, so I do like the bounty hunters. I do think, though, I will hold firm to this unless I see them in a Star Wars property where they do something cool. Forlom and Zuckuss are the most stupid, horrendous, awful, dumb characters ever. J1AC, who is literally just Forlom with twin blaster pistols in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, is cooler than Forlom. You know why?
Because he did something.
Because he actually did something, anything. You know what Forlom did? Stand. You know what Zuckuss did?
Stand.
I don't even know if Zuckuss breathes. He's just holding his breath the whole time. They sit at... Those two sit at... Those two... Those two sit at the band kid table. Those two sit... I'm sorry if you are a band kid or you were a band kid, but those two sit at the table with the stinky Nintendo DS kids. That is where Zuckuss and Forlom sit.
I feel like, Tommy, you were the stinky Nintendo DS kid.
And I was a Nintendo DS kid, but I had good hygiene, okay? I've always had good hygiene, except for right now, where I smell like burnt French fries.
I concur.
I did put deodorant on, though.
That only protects your pits.
That's all I need to protect. They're vulnerable.
Silly rabbit. Pits are for kids.
Like, kind of pits are we, like, ball pits? Or, like... the pit of my house, or I mean, whoa, my bad.
Big Bad's not going to sponsor us now.
So, but then there's Boba Fett. At this point in time, Boba Fett is not the Boba Fett that we know now. Boba Fett is the wannabe cool guy who actually is just a huge douchebag, and is really full of himself. And definitely has a secret belly button piercing that he doesn't want anyone to know about.
Tommy's burning a lot of bridges.
I love Boba Fett now. But at the time, I always was like, yeah, Boba Fett just thinks he's way cooler than he actually is. I'm being honest.
Dude, he was the only one to capture Han Solo.
He didn't, though. Darth Vader did.
No.
Okay, I'm going to die on this hill.
No,
everybody's like...
Boba Fett tracked him and let the Empire know that that's where they were. Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. What did Boba Fett do? Boba Fett did nothing. He just followed them.
Yeah, because he outsmarted everybody.
No.
Then why did Bosk just follow?
No, because guess what? Darth Vader was sick of Boba Fett's... And so, God, I'm going to have to bleep that. Darth Vader was sick of Boba Fett's shenanigans and dumped him and his ship in the garbage disposal. And Boba Fett just happened to see them. That's what happened.
No.
It is.
No.
I hate to break it to you, but it is.
It's just not.
Anyways, I'm done. I'm done listening to this guy. Who pays me to work with this guy?
Nobody pays you
Every day.
to work with me.
Every single day. Jackson, come home.
Jackson's actually boarding his plane probably as we speak, or he's on the plane right now to fly back.
Yeah, Jackson's going to travel back in time.
Mm-hmm.
He could have warned us. So we're gonna
Jay, if you're out there. No.
So Bosk actually sits at the cool kids table. I will say.
Why? Because he wears the Doctor Who outfit?
No, because he's just Bosk. Bosk is actually cool.
He has boss in the name.
Like a boss. Remember in
That's wild.
2010 when that was like the biggest, coolest thing you could say as a 10-year-old?
Yeah, like because of Jacksepticeye. Gosh, I love that guy.
And then we have Dengar, who I thought was the lamest of them all.
Really?
I've always thought Dengar was stupid, and then I saw him in the Clone Wars, and I was like, oh,
Mummy.
Dengar is actually pretty cool.
Space Mummy.
And then he became Rothgar Deng in episode 9.
And then everybody was very upset about it.
Everybody was. Well, he was, oh my god, he fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down.
And then he got beat with an ugly stick when he hit the bottom.
There's...
Fella's built like a cup of pudding.
You know what? Let's just keep going with this theme. Lando Calrissian definitely sits at the theater kids table.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Lando is the kid that acts like he's friends with everybody to get what he wants. Am I being used? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
I think we're done here.
You are a means to an end. Welcome back to the 1313 podcast with yours truly, Tommy. I have successfully used Jacob to build a somewhat nicely sized fan base to now create. Please don't hit me. Please don't shoot me with that. 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 Ow.
You know what we do with vermin on my farm?
Cook them dinner.
I kill.
Please don't shoot me with that again,
I
dude.
kill vermin on my farm. Italians are vermin, and I kill vermin on my farm.
We have reached the point of no return. Dude, you need to chill out. I put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. Bum, 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 bum. Anyways, I don't even know what we're gonna call this episode. I like this is not a discussion of The Empire Strikes Back.
This is what happens. I think we should honestly just cut our losses and talk about whatever we want.
You know, I agree. I'm glad I had that idea. And so let's Oh my god, dude. We literally were at a point where we were like, should we? The thought crossed my mind. Do we just not have a podcast episode again this week? But I was like, no, we need to have a podcast episode this week. And here we are.
Mm-hmm. I already got the title.
What is it?
This episode is not about Empire Strikes Back.
Check it out, guys. I have a Clone Wars t-shirt on. I got this at Five Below.
And I got a Kenobi shirt on. I got this
but,
at FYE.
Dude, tell me that Commander Cody's armor is not yellow.
No, that's just straight up yellow.
That's just straight up yellow. And this one is like kind of orange.
Yeah, I don't know why you're asking the colorblind kid what color these are, but...
Yeah, that's really racist of me. I'm sorry, I won't do that again.
Yeah, man, that was really inconsiderate.
But yeah, so
you triggered me now.
Dude, I hate you so much.
So do you want to just talk about Star Wars in general, or are we just gonna have
let's just absolutely wing it. Hey, so I saw a leak actually from the Tales of the Jedi show.
Oh.
It's a shot. Potentially. I don't know if this is actually true. Take it with a grain of salt. But I don't even know if it's something you would want me to say, because it would spoil something that I think would be very emotional for you.
Is it Anakin?
No. It has nothing to do with Anakin. It has to do with Ahsoka immediately after the events of Clone Wars Season 7.
Is it her and the Inquisitor?
No, it's like before that. Like, think about what happens immediately after the duel on Mustafar. Go ahead, Jacob. Tell everybody.
Is it? I can't bring myself to say it because I don't want it to be true.
It's it's a shot of Ahsoka standing in a crowd with a hood on, looking down.
No,
and
no. I know what you're gonna say. I
The
don't want.
palette of the color palette for the shot is gray, like a dark, sad gray.
Okay, you can end it there because I really hope that that's not in the show.
You will definitely cry if you see that in the show. You will definitely cry. If you can infer what I'm talking about, I'll leave it up to your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for Jacob's emotions, we will not continue that discussion. But that is something I've seen a couple times on TikTok. So we'll see if it ends up being true.
I hope it's not.
In other news, the Knights of the Republic game is canceled.
Indefinitely.
It's pushed back indefinitely. What, Disney decided they just weren't a fan of what the company had produced?
Well, no, because they showed it to LucasArts Gaming.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've worked for like 6 years on this. This is our progress so far. We hope you like it. And LucasArts said, you made no progress. This is awful. This is not worth our time or our money. And then they fired the creative director and then the head of development.
Wow. Ouch.
Ow. So, we are just, that game's not coming out, which is sad because I was actually kind of excited about it. Not because I like the Old Republic, but because I heard that they were going to be reworking the combat to be like Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, then it might be actually a good game.
And lo and behold, here we are.
We get nothing.
Magic Conch. When will we get the Knights of the Old Republic game?
Do you know when E3 is?
No. Huh?
Do you know when E3 is?
Negative.
Let me look that up. When is E3? Oh!
It already happened.
It was canceled.
Oh, even better. Because they had no games to show off.
Apparently.
Stupid idiots.
It was in June 2nd to the 14th. I felt like we should have got like a different Star Wars game reveal other than just Jedi Fallen Order. You want to hear my controversial hot take of Star Wars right now?
Let's do it.
Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is mid. It is.
I never played it.
It is so mid. I've played through the prequels. I played through the OT, and the prequels felt like. Okay, so this is how the game felt. It felt like the OT was treated with love. It felt like the prequels were treated as a joke, and it felt like the sequels were just put there because they had to do it. It feels so unequivocally lazy to play through those sequels levels. And I just want to shoot myself while I'm playing them. I can play one level and then I have to stop playing. Like, it literally ruined me playing my Switch for a while. Like, I stopped playing it for like a month and a half. Because I was just like, it's just not fun. But I was like, oh, I got to play this game because I'm a Star Wars fan and I pre-ordered the game and I love Legos and I love Star Wars. So it's like, I gotta like the game, guys. I have to.
Imagine letting a game ruin your experience with the console.
Yeah, so...
Hashtag cringe, hashtag not based, hashtag...
Yeah. But, but thank goodness I got... Shout out to... My loving girlfriend Delilah, she got me Kirby and the Forgotten Dreamland. Actually just you're single, haha. I finished it today, and the entire game is just like cute and it's easy and it's silly, and then that final level like kicks you in the nuts like for zero reason whatsoever. It gets like really serious. There's no voice acting in the game whatsoever, and then there's voice acting in that final level, and then people start actually dying, and then the final boss is actually difficult, and I was like, bro, where did this come from? Like, the game turned into Dark Souls for like the last 5 minutes. I was like, what is going on? But no, I finished that game, and now I realize that I have to go back and play Lego Star Wars because that's the only game I have on there that I haven't beaten yet.
Wow. L.
So now I have to go back into the terrible It's the Last Jedi I'm playing through right now, and those games just feel like it just feels like they were like thrown together. I'm like, it doesn't feel.
You know what game
Nice.
wasn't mid? Jedi Fallen Order.
That game.
You know what game was not even mid, but just horrible? Squadrons.
I want to give Squadrons
awful
another try.
Listen, I played the campaign
all the way through.
Yeah, and it had no climactic or interesting ending. I just felt like I was just doing missions. There was nothing. There was no stakes. There was no nothing. And it was about a bunch of characters I didn't care about, aside from Hera.
What was there stuff with Hera that was like actually like needed for her character?
Hera was just there. She was just there.
I think they threw her in last minute to get people hyped about the game because I didn't really care. I was like, oh, I'll get it because I love Star Wars and I like Starfighter Assault. So I'll get the game. And then they threw Hera into the trailer and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this game's gonna be great. And then it wasn't.
It was cringe.
I think I uninstalled it, actually. That's how much I disliked it.
I think I actually did too. I uninstalled it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that game was just disappointing. I think the only thing that would make that game good is if you played it in VR. Because I didn't like the fact that you had to press a joystick to toggle to look around, and then you couldn't fly the ship while you're looking around, but looking around was an integral part of dogfighting. It didn't feel natural. It didn't play well at all.
No, it did not.
So, I think if they ported it for like the Oculus Quest, or I know PlayStation VR probably has like VR gameplay for it, that's probably fine.
That'd be cool.
But on Xbox we're kind of screwed.
Pretty much, dude. It's I don't know. I want there to be a new Star Wars game coming out. And I know that we're getting Jedi Survivor at some point. And I know that there's going to be other games that come out at some point, but it's like I want it I want it now. It's like, God, like just put out a game, man. It's making me so annoyed. You know what else makes me annoyed?
And the fact that we have to wait for Jedi Survivor, apparently it's supposed to come out in March of next year.
Yeah, everything keeps getting delayed.
I mean, granted, I'm fine with it getting delayed if it means the product is going to be better. But like,
then Lego Star Wars was mid.
It was. Well, it felt like there should have been more. And maybe because I think maybe there's things cut out of like the Switch version. I think there might be more of the console versions. Because I've seen some stuff of like cutscenes and console versions that are longer on console than they are on Switch.
Really?
So I think there might actually be more gameplay. Because it's like, I feel like a mission is you can literally just sprint through it in like 5 seconds if you don't like look for everything.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It doesn't capture the same charm that the original Lego Star Wars did. I think that's what it's missing.
I agree, but I also think part of that is the nostalgia of us having the complete saga game when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, growing up with that. I know that has a lot to do with how we feel about a lot of things. Is we grew up with it, so we're partial to it.
Yeah. And I know people are probably going to grow up with the Skywalker saga and it's going to be like their favorite and they're going to play
it. Just like people are going to grow up with the sequels and they're going to like them a lot. And, you know, it'd be cool to be a kid growing up with Star Wars now, though. Freaking Mando and all that stuff. It'd be dope.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm kind of glad that we're at the age that we're at when this stuff is coming out. Because as a kid, you just watch it and you go, whoa, this is cool. As an adult and you watch it, you get like all the references and how everything's entwined together. Like that's two things I wish, if I could go back and rewatch something for the first time again, I would rewatch Revenge of the Sith for that plot twist. And I would watch episode 5 for the I am your father scene. If I had no clue it was coming, I feel like that would have been like an amazing, just kind of like, what? I think that would have been cool. But no. What's going on in the brain of yours? You seem like you're kind of like in a galaxy far, far away in your
I'm
brain.
staring very intently at the backpack of this ARC Trooper figure in front of me, thinking, what the hell did they use these backpacks for? What purpose did they serve? Like, I know it says in all the visual dictionaries they have all this gear on them, but do you think an ARC Trooper ever actually was in combat and went, dang, I really could use something on this backpack of mine right now?
Probably.
Long cylinder. Ooh, cool. Let me just
They're probably
poop in it or something. I don't know.
They're probably power packs when you think about it.
Yeah,
power
that's true.
packs or explosives
That's
or
true.
communications like relays or trackers or things like that. It's probably like a multitude of stuff.
True that. But yeah, I don't know. There's so much gear in Star Wars, and I'm like, that just looks so unnecessary.
I don't understand how there's a progression of time between the prequels and the original trilogy, yet the technology goes from looking super futuristic to like garbage.
Well, that's
and then it continues into the sequels.
Well, so that I know the explanation they came up with that was intentional, actually. Like George Lucas and the design team intentionally did that with the prequels, and it wasn't because of CGI. It was because they wanted because the original trilogy is supposed to represent like Vietnam in like that time, the 70s, when the movies came out. So everything is very geometric and everything is very like, blocky and boxy and very like bland. But with the prequels, they wanted it to be more like the what decade am I thinking of? Like the 1950s or like the 1920s, where everything was very sleek and streamlined, and everything had like curved edges and rounded off edges. That's what they were looking for, like with the chrome vehicles and stuff. All of that was to simulate what came before the 70s.
Okay.
So it was intentional, but
there was no progression into the sequels.
The sequels, oh god, it's too late to talk about the sequels right now.
Okay, I know
I don't have enough brain power to talk about
I know that we're
sequels.
Star Wars. Let's be honest, we kind of are Star Wars shills when it comes to some things.
Oh, I will be the first one to come out and say that I am definitely a shill when it comes to certain products that are Star Wars. Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm being honest, when I go through the grand scheme of things, I could watch episode 1 through 6 and be happy not watching 7, 8, and 9. I really could, because to me, they don't really feel like Star Wars, if I'm being honest. I don't know. There's just something about them. It's like the uncanny valley of Star Wars. It's like, I know it's Star Wars, but something seems off.
Yeah, I get that.
The entire time.
And I feel like that when I watch newer Star Wars stuff sometimes too.
But I don't feel like that when I watch like The Mandalorian though.
There have been times when I watch The Mandalorian and I'm like, does this feel Star Wars to me? Like, does it? Like the way that certain characters look and stuff like that, designs of certain like.
Oh yeah, like in the Book of Boba, like the Vespa gang. Watching that, I was like, does this feel Star Wars? It felt like something was pulled from Coruscant and thrown. It felt, yeah, it's exactly.
If it was on Coruscant,
it would have made sense.
I would have been like, yeah, this feels Star Wars.
Just on Tatooine, it didn't make too much sense.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So, I do feel like sometimes we shill Star Wars a little bit too hard.
I wouldn't say too hard. It's just our opinions.
I think we like to see the bright side of everything.
Yeah, I'm just really tired of all you guys crying about everything.
I think we need to do an episode where we talk about everything we hate about Star Wars. I think that would be fun.
That would be a fun episode. I can tell you Jackson would not participate.
Yeah. Or maybe he would, and then he would say nothing the entire time.
Well, I got a rebuttal for that.
We're not here for rebuttals.
I'm so excited for him to come back to the show.
Yeah, I can't wait to absolutely get on his nerves within the first hour of him being back in the States.
Jacob!
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to give him a hug and he's going to implode because he doesn't like people touching him.
He's so weird. What a little weird egg. But he's my little weird egg.
Oh, what a silly, goofy
Just goofy Anyways, yeah, so Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. I hope that this has entertained you guys as we're just sitting here just rambling on. I hope this has been entertaining because
it's probably not.
I've
at all.
actually been strangely entertained by this.
I-
Maybe it's because I'm really tired, or maybe it's because I'm not
Maybe if
sure.
you have a couple grams of substance of any sort in your system, you might enjoy this.
I won't lie. I actually consider bringing a beer like to this podcast and
Oh.
just like sipping on a beer while we sat here and
Yeah, and then drive home. I don't think so, Tommy. Give me those keys.
one singular beer.
Drinking and driving is a no-no, Tommy.
That is not in the state of Pennsylvania. As long as you are under the threshold of 0.08 blood alcohol level, you are okay to drive. Brought to you by the Pennsylvania Criminal Crime.
Thank you, Tommy. I still think it'd be funny if we did a show,
A drunk show.
a drunk show.
Take a shot every time something happens.
I think it'd be fun if we did like watch-alongs to something like that.
That'd be fun.
And Jackson would not participate.
No, just because he doesn't like to drink, but
Yeah,
that's all right.
that's his own personal choice, and I'm not gonna bully him for it.
Yeah,
At least down here.
yeah,
In private, I will, because that's my brother, and I can do that.
dude. I just let one slide out just now.
Oh, I can't. If I smell it, and it's
Holy
bad,
cow!
I'll let the audience know.
That's different. They don't normally smell like that. It almost smells like a Jacob fart.
That's not a good thing.
No.
that's a
Yours have a very unique, like almost like a sweet scent. It's like it's like
It's got a what to it?
a sweet scent. It smells like butterfly kisses and rainbows. I'm not sure, dude. Oh my god. What is this? What is going on? I feel like I'm in a fever dream. I feel like I'm gonna wake up and be like, what was that? That was awful. I can't believe we almost put that on the internet. And it's gonna be on the internet in less than 12 hours.
You know what? I say we give it for like when this video goes up, we'll give it an hour. If people don't respond to it well, we take it down.
You know what people did not respond well to? My New Republic security droid review.
You know what people did not respond well to? Your Mission Fleet video.
Yeah, but that was a Tika's trading post, though. You know,
Tika's trading post that has balled off though every other time.
people really liked our last podcast episode, though. Andor.
Yeah,
That one did really well. Yeah. Too bad they're gonna come back and be disappointed by this episode.
this utter piece of band.
No, I feel like people will like this episode. It's a little different.
That's usually how it goes. If we think something's gonna do really bad and we like this episode's gonna suck, people seem to like it. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's not Bantha Poodoo. It's Dewback Poodoo. What animal in Star Wars do you think has the foulest, most disgusting excrements out of any creature in Star Wars?
I'm gonna go with the Eopie.
I'm gonna say the dude who ran the Citadel in the Clone Wars. He definitely took the meanest, foulest,
Big brain guy.
most horrendous. Did he have like a woman's name or something? I need to look that up. Give me a second here.
Chartreuse.
Entertain these people while I.
I don't know who would have. I wonder what Jedi do you think spit in the Yoda had the foulest?
Yoda was definitely constipated, dude.
Dude, did you know apparently in Star Wars canon, Yoda's cane is made out of like a type of wood that when chewed on,
his name was Osi Sobek. Do you know what he looks like?
You've got a big brain.
No, he doesn't.
Are we talking about the tall head green guy?
No. Or was he?
What are we talking about?
This dude. Dude, he had the foulest poops, dude. I'm telling you. He had the baddest poops.
But no, Yoda's cane is...
And he talked like this. Osi Sobek. I'm getting a calm. Gaudugu not now. I'm taking a mean one. I'm blowing up.
I'm blowing up Camino.
This is worse than when a fledgling Mithril evacuates their thorax.
Anyway, but no, Yoda's cane is made out of wood that when chewed on it has pain relieving effects, but it also has like It's
Well,
basically like if you were chewing on weed. That's apparently
we
what
do
it is
know
in Source
Yoda
Code.
is lactose intolerant because of the video by Puppet Yoda. Yoda has a bad poo-poo.
That's what I'm saying. Yoda has the worst.
Yoda does have the worst, yeah. So much so that it makes humans involuntarily vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's very good.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of people involuntarily doing things, my roommate Nafis went to a morgue like museum today about like because he's doing PA major for like pre-med and stuff.
Okay.
So he's into that type of like this medical weird stuff. So he basically went to a medical museum and they had like a petrified, half decomposed corpse on display. And he said a lady walked in, took one look at it, and hit the floor. He's like, he was posting some of the pictures. He's like, saw 700 like human skulls. There was literally, it was like somebody took like this half of somebody's head and like they chopped it and put it in some water and said, now you can look at it. It was some weird stuff. It was like a museum of oddities, like medical oddities. And he saw conjointed twins that were dead. So, and then he rated the museum experience an 11 out of 10 because of that lady fainting.
It's like Foden Bede from The Phantom Menace.
Oh.
They're conjoined twins.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now little Skywalker is in the race.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Mm-hmm. You know, there's probably someone out there that's their favorite character.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong? I know.
They probably like.
I
NASCAR.
know some of you guys are like me, and you just pick an obscure character because you want to be different than everybody else.
Yeah, like Tommy saying that he likes The Last Jedi, and we all know that's the reason. You don't have a good reason.
I like the movie. I've said we don't need to go into this because I've said so many times in this podcast why I like that movie.
You also just admitted that you like to pick the things that people don't like so you can seem cool.
I was talking about characters.
No, you outed yourself, Tom. You outed yourself. You are not the shield.
I was talking about characters.
Okay, and then what characters are you talking about?
I'm talking about people who are like, my favorite character is Grindin from A New Hope. He's the coolest. I like him so much. No, you don't. You just like being different. Because you work a cubicle job. Nothing with your life.
Yeah. So pick main characters like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like Anakin Skywalker is my number one. Actually, no, Anakin's my number 2 right now. Thrawn is still triumphing that number 1 spot.
Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Thrawn's always been my number 1. He'll always be my all time. But my right now favorite is Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm. My right now favorite is Anakin.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I honestly think I mentioned it's because of Kenobi, and I was like, Darth Vader's really cool. I actually like Darth Vader a lot, and it took a minute for me to be like, nah, I just still really like Anakin, and then yeah.
Darth Vader's boring. To be honest with you, Darth Vader is a boring character. That was a joke.
I was like, ain't no way that you just said that.
You know who is boring?
Who's boring?
Din Djarin.
Say psych.
Psych.
Yeah. I know who is boring.
Who?
Boba Fett.
Uh-oh.
And I mean it.
I know you do.
I don't think he's boring. I just don't. I think Book of Boba was mid.
Dude, speaking of moments that take me out of Star Wars. I was talking with some of the guys.
From 20 minutes ago.
I know. I was talking with some of the guys. We were playing some Battlefront. Quick plug for the Discord. If you are not joined in, we do like little... I'll just at everybody and be like, hey, jumping on Battlefront tonight on Xbox, because Xbox Master Race, and we'll play some Battlefront.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing with some of the guys, and we were talking about some stuff like takes us out of Star Wars, and I think that scene in the Book of Boba Fett finale where the city girl and the rural girl get together, and they put aside their differences and work together to shoot at the droid. I'm like, Dude, that was so forced and about two characters that I didn't care about one bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like having that there, I get what you guys were trying to do.
It
We
was-
come from different backgrounds, but we're able to set that aside and work together. I'm like, that's cringe.
It was woke.
Do it with two characters that I actually care about. And then I will sit there and go, wow, that was really powerful. I really like that message. That was so freaking cool, man.
Mm-hmm. It was woke. You want to know something I've been thinking about?
What? Let's hear it.
I think the reason why, one of the main reasons why Top Gun Maverick has grossed $2 billion at this point and is still in the box office months later is because one of the main reasons is because of the fact that they do show mass diversity between men and women of different races and different backgrounds, but it's all subtle, and you just acknowledge the fact that these are all pilots going to Top Gun. They must be the best of the best, and they must have worked really hard to get there. They don't go, this woman is a pilot and she's better than this guy because she's a woman. And they try to do that Captain Marvel thing on you where they're like, you know why they call it the cockpit, right? They don't do that. They just kind of like, they're like, these are the characters. These are who they are. They're in Top Gun. And you're like, yes.
We are treading on dangerous waters right now. And I am 100% here to talk about it.
Oh.
I 100% agree with you. I think that you don't need to, as a viewer, I'm intelligent as a viewer. I don't need the film or the TV show to express to me and tell me what they're trying to do and you know what they're trying to achieve. Case in point, The Mandalorian season 2 finale has a sequence of only female characters between Cara Dune, Fennec Shand, Koska Reeves, and Bo-Katan. All 4 badass characters wiping the floor with stormtroopers.
And it's not like...
And it wasn't until after it happened that I realized, oh man, that was all female characters. That was really cool. Mm-hmm. And then moved on with my day and watched the next scene.
It wasn't like in
juxtaposed to
Avengers Endgame where they all get together and they're all like, we can do this.
Don't worry. She's got help.
Yeah. It's like,
there's a reason that people talk about that scene so much. And there's a reason that people talk about the Mandalorian scene in a different light so much.
It's because you can have your messages in the film, just don't throw it down our throats because we are smart enough as viewers to understand what you were doing.
You don't, and that's the thing is the filmmakers, it's not even the filmmakers. I think it's like the corporations want so bad, the suits at the top, the bean counters. They want so badly for the audience to know and acknowledge what they're trying to do with that film that they're so afraid that people might miss it that they have to make it the most obvious thing ever. And if they don't, then they're worried people will miss it. Mm-hmm. So they go out of their way and they make it, they just, I wouldn't necessarily say cramming it down your throat. I would say more like I feel like I'm a kindergartner watching Dora. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's literally being, here's the thing. Do you see the thing right here? Do you see the thing? Mm-hmm. And there's visual cues and everything. It's like, I'm smart enough to understand what you're trying to do.
And that's another thing I'm kind of thankful with Star Wars is that they haven't really done that. Like where they force the message down.
I mean, I've definitely seen with a lot of the content, the messages that they're trying to throw out there. And you can tell there are certain parts, like with what we brought up with the Book of Boba Fett, where that didn't really, to me, it just didn't fit. Mm-hmm. And it felt very forced. And then it happens and then it's done. And then there's never any mention of it again.
Because that's the thing. Star Wars has, in a way, has always been an inclusive thing. Think about it. These people there's humans and then there's thousands of aliens.
Okay, well, actually, in high school, for my senior year, for my final project, I did a project about how Star Wars has helped pave the way for diversity in film. And with that, if you look at Princess Leia in A New Hope, this is a leading female character who is a kick-ass character, a heroine who fights for herself,
Doesn't
and
need
talks
rescued.
and has lip with everybody. You know, she has a sense of power, and she doesn't. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't need help from anybody. That is a character. That is something that was not common in films in the 70s to do with a female character.
Mm-hmm.
Then on top of that, you know, in The Empire Strikes Back, we introduced Lando Calrissian as a main character of the movie, of the series. And then he shows up as, again, a very, very central character in the following film, in Return of the Jedi.
I wouldn't say central character.
He's a lot more central to the plot in Return
yeah.
of the Jedi than he is in The Empire Strikes Back.
He's in the entire ending sequence.
Yeah, and he like plays a big role.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like he's advertised in that movie as one of the group, you know, one of the main cast,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But then we go to, you know, we have other films, we have other things that come out. And I mean, just look at what, you know, they tried to do with the sequels with John Boyega as Finn. And then and then China came along and ruined it all.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go down that road.
I'm just I wish, I like Rey, but I wish Finn was the lead. I think that would have been so cool to get like Imperial kind of First Order defect turned Jedi. I hated the fact that they just only alluded to it in the last movie instead of solidifying it. I understand why John Boyega was so mad at the franchise after that last movie. Because they really did him dirty. They really did.
And I like, though, that he was honest. He came out and said that it was because of, you know, Disney was afraid of losing their Chinese audience. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like super shameful. And I know that Disney is doing their best to double back on that now. You know, especially with things like Eternals and...
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter because you did it to my favorite thing, and you bowed to the corporate regimes to please only suits and only to make money, not to do what you thought was right.
Right.
Yeah. And especially coming from Disney, one that always preaches about inclusion and stuff.
And equality and diversity.
So hypocritical. And it also goes to show that even though they preach all that stuff and they show you all that stuff, they don't care.
They don't care.
They do it because it makes the money.
That's what I have been trying to point out to anybody that like is super into, you know, like that's really supportive of Disney doing this. And you should be supportive of the decisions they're making to have a more inclusive like cast, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But also realize that Disney's not doing it because it's out of the good of their hearts. Disney is doing it because they want to make money. And they know that that is what's going to make them money, is by having a more diverse cast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cash grab. And it's a shame that they're doing it for that reason. They can say all day long and make all these posts on social media about how, you know, they're supporting their cast members and blah, blah, blah. But no, the end goal is to make money. They're a business. They're not happy, feel good charity group.
Mm-hmm.
They're a business, and they're growing a monopoly on the film industry. And that's what their end goal is. So, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but that's, at the end of the day, that's their goal. And so, you know, I'm not telling Disney to stop doing it. I'm not telling, you know what I mean? I'm not telling Disney to stop, but I am saying that I'm just calling a spade, basically. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
I like how this episode went from being really stupid and silly, and it got like way too serious.
We are super serious now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like hyper fixated on this now.
It's disappointing because I want to see good things happen out of the goodness of people's hearts, not because it'll make them money.
And what would have happened if John Boyega would have never come forward and said something? Do you think, you know what I mean? Like, what would have happened?
Well, the same thing that what did happen. Nothing. Disney basically did nothing about it.
I mean, they acted like they made a big deal with Eternals, but Eternals, like, they knew it wasn't going to be, like, the biggest blockbuster of the year.
Yeah. And quite honestly, I think it's one of the worst Marvel movies. coming from somebody that's watched every single thing Marvel except for I haven't watched I Am Groot yet, and I haven't watched Miss Marvel, just because the characters don't really intrigue me. I watched half of the Eternals movie and I lost interest, and that has never happened with a Marvel movie with me, because I'm repping it right now. I love Marvel, so it's just it's I don't know. It's disappointing. It really is.
But yeah, I don't know. With that, I think that's a good place to stop.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled an hour-long podcast episode out of our asses.
Yeah. I do want to say
up top, dude.
I do want to say I hope this discussion was able to be intriguing to you, especially this last bit. This discussion was not meant to anger anybody in any way. So please, if you would like to have a discussion about it in the comments below, please keep it civil. Don't start yelling at each other. Hear each other out and hear each other's opinions.
I don't care what you do. If you want to be disrespectful, go ahead. Just know that your comment is going to be deleted.
If you're being
I have no shame in saying that.
If you're being belligerent, we don't want you. We don't want you in the comments section.
1313 podcast is impeding on my freedom of speech. It's my comment section, dummy. Anyways, so yeah, but if you enjoyed this, please be sure to subscribe to the 1313 podcast. I don't know how you would get through this far and not be subscribed.
Yeah.
But we are doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers, which we are rapidly approaching. And if you help us hit that before the month of September begins, we will be giving away both of the figures to you. So be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, it's the Bad Batch Rex and the 212th Trooper.
It is.
They're sitting over there across the room, and quite frankly, it's 12:20, and I don't feel like grabbing them.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Yep. This video will go out in less than 9 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
I hope you all respect the grind that we be putting forth.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is we hope that you appreciate the content that we're putting out. We've been uploading every day for over a week now.
Are you finished with all the reviews that you have to record?
I've recorded them all. I just need to edit the rest.
Okay, because I got 7. I'm sitting on now.
Dang, man, we got a lot of stuff coming, but we have more stuff in the works too. So, and we will be at a Comic-Con coming up. I think it's probably about time we make a public announcement. And then if we get our booth, we will announce that on our social media. But we're in the works of getting a booth at our local Comic-Con. And if you want more information on that, please be sure to stick to our social media going forward.
Especially be in our Discord, because we're going to announce everything there. We're going to have the logistics about everything.
Yeah.
If you want to come see us, if you want to come meet us.
We're doing meet and greet. I know that there are going to be, even if we don't get a booth and we just end up like filming the con.
Well, we're definitely going to go no matter what.
I mean, I already got the days off work, so. But yeah, so we're going to go to the con and it's going to be a good time. We're going to meet up with, I know there are already some 1313 podcast viewers in our inner circle.
There's some regs that are going to be there.
There are going to be some people there, and it's going to be fun. We're going to go out to dinner with you guys and do fun stuff and be normal human beings for a weekend. So, and
if you're over the age of 21, you might be able to go to a bar.
Oh my gosh, that'll be so much fun. I will take you all out.
If we do that, we got to go to Oliver's Beer Garden on the Bayfront, because you don't have to be 21 to walk in. You just have to be 21. I know. Drinks.
Yeah,
so I can actually go in with y'all.
Heck yeah, that'll be a good time. But yeah, so aside from that, everyone, all the links to our social media, our Discord, our Patreon are in the description below. And aside from that, Jacob, I should probably get home and start editing this.
Yeah, you probably should. Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. We really appreciate your viewership. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe so we can give away those dang figures. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hum da da hum dum dum da. Hum da da dum dum da dum. Ba ba do ba do ba do ba do ba dum ba ba dum ba dum
Ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum dum. Hum da dum hum da dum hum dum 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 da dum hum da dum hum dum da dum. Hey, I'm ba-da-dum da-da-dum dum. Hum da dum da-da-dum da-da-dum dum. Dum 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 dum.